There is nothing dangerous at all about flying in an airplane. Indeed, thousands of people all around the world do it every single day, and face hardly the slightest repercussions. In fact, it would make far more sense to fear walking across your neighborhood street, or sleeping next to your beloved wife or husband, than it would to fear getting into an airplane and flying 6 miles above God's green earth. That being said, although flying itself is of little danger, it is often difficult to predict who or what will accompany you on your journey across the cool, lapidary skies. On one particular flight, particular details withheld out of respect for those involved, a very nervous-looking man had entered, biting his nails so fiercely that they drew blood. The man sitting next to him, his name was Danny Staples, and he lived in Portland, Oregon, and he was married to a very beautiful woman named Lilac, wore a rather fashionable red tie that seemed to flow down the front of his shirt like a small crick of red. He looked over at the man biting his nails, a deeply concerned look in his eyes. But, fearing he might startle his companion, who seemed lost in his thoughts, he decided to remain silent. Nevertheless, the nervous man eventually spoke up.
Oh God. Oh God, they put me next to the window again. It's a great day out there, huh? Great day for flying.
Yes, it is a great day for flying.
Mm-hmm. Everyone looks so relaxed. They all got these great flying grins on their faces. Yeah, nothing dangerous at all about a routine flight across the country.
I love flying. I find it relaxing.
Yeah? Oh, well, who doesn't? Everyone loves flying. Birds especially love flying. Even some fish like flying. Hey, you seem like a guy who flies a lot. Are you a flyer? A flying man?
Staples paused for a moment. He smiled.
Yes, I'm a flying man.
Well, you probably fly a lot, huh? This is just a regular old routine flight for you, isn't it? Just another Monday on an airplane? Nothing unusual gonna happen at all today?
Yep, I fly a lot for work. I'm used to it.
Great. Great. I'm just peached to be sitting next to a experienced flyer. You know, it really puts my mind at ease, you know? I hate it when they place me next to some rookie. They never have any idea what's going on. They drag the flight down, you know? We always end up arriving late.
At that moment, the nervous man threw up a viscous liquid all over the airplane window.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Are you feeling okay?
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm really sick. The doctors tell me I should be in my house. But I want to do something with my life. Something big. I have dreams. I just smoked a bunch of weed this morning. But I'm ready to take on the world.
You seem nervous. Do you want some water?
Water? No thanks. My body's like 30% water as it is.
The two men sat in silence next to one another as the plane began its gradual ascent into the scintillating sky. Danny Staples picked up a book. After the plane had reached a high altitude, the nervous man turned back to his companion and resumed the conversation.
Do you ever think about death?
Uh-huh. About what?
You know, death. Don't tell me you've never heard of death before.
Why are you thinking about death?
Do you ever get the idea that you might die? You know, on an airplane?
Danny Staples chuckled and shook his head. He put the book back down on his food tray in front of him.
No, I know I'm not going to die in an airplane.
Yeah, you're right. Statistically, these things are supposed to be safe, right? We're more likely to die walking across the street than in an airplane 30,000 feet above the Earth's surface. But think about it. There's nothing between us and all the air below but a few layers of metal. We're a bunch of helpless sardines in a can, zipping through time and space. We're at the mercy of whoever's driving this goddamn chunk of metal.
Do you ever think about dying in an airplane?
Do I ever think about dying in an airplane? Man, for the past 10 years, that's all I've been able to think about. I dream about dying in an airplane. I can't enjoy my dinner because I'm too busy thinking about dying in an airplane. When I try to make love to a woman, I can't because I'm too distracted thinking about dying in a goddamn airplane. The doctors all say it's because my dad went crazy and killed my family when I was a kid. Doctors, though, right? They have an explanation for everything. They say I need to stay home and work on my problems. Well, I've been home for 10 years now, and I'm sick and tired of it. And now I'm facing my problems head on, baby.
The nervous man was breathing quite heavily, and Danny Staples was afraid he might spew yet again. But the nervous man closed his eyes and regained control, easing back into the airplane chair.
Look, my friend, you don't have to worry about anything. Flying is safe. Besides, you're not going to die on this flight.
Sure, you can say that all you want, but some planes crash. Some people die on planes. It's unlikely, but someone has to die sometime, right? We're all gonna die someday. Why not here? Why not die now, on this plane?
It's okay. You're not going to die.
You don't know that. I could.
I do know. You are not going to die on this plane.
God almighty, look how high up we are. I think I'm gonna be sick again.
At that moment, the nervous man threw up again, this time all over his white sneakers. He spat out a few of the remaining green, slimy chunks over top the passenger seat in front of him.
Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ. What's crazy is I haven't eaten for 3 days. Who knows what this gunk is?
For a moment, the two sat in silence.
Mind if I ask you a question?
Of course, go for it.
Do you believe that people can predict the future?
Like, if a person could say what's going to happen in the future before it actually happens?
Do you believe in the possibility of precognition?
No. No, I don't. What, are you crazy? It's against the laws of nature.
Huh? But what are the laws of nature after all?
It's how things work in this world. You have to be an idiot to think you can defy the laws of nature. Time moves forward, gravity makes things fall. Everyone dies, you can't argue your way around that.
Just like anything else, the laws of nature exist nowhere but in your head.
That's sure as hell easy to say. Doesn't mean you'd go and jump out an airplane window.
The nervous man looked as though he wanted to throw up again.
No, but if you could see the future, you would only ever do what the future told you to do, wouldn't you?
Look, man, you're making me feel sick with all this crazy talk. I'm just trying to enjoy my flight here.
Listen to me. In 5 seconds, that baby over there is going to start crying.
Sure enough. Within 5 seconds, the nervous man began to hear the indignant ringing of a babe's dissatisfied howl. The nervous man recoiled from his companion, feeling trapped against the airplane's window. Suddenly, he had an urge to somehow crawl out, thinking he might be safer on the other side of the plane.
What the hell was that? What are you, some kind of psychic? I want off this plane now. Excuse me, stewardess!
The nervous man caught the attention of a stewardess, who lilted her way over to where the two men were seated. Oh my goodness, I'll get a towel for you right away.
What? No! I don't need a towel! I want off this plane right now!
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I can't help with that. Just try and remain calm. We'll be landing in an hour.
But this man's freaking me out! He's a prophet! A clairvoyant! He can see into the future and it's making me want to throw up!
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to remain calm. We'll be landing very shortly.
Remain calm? How can I remain calm? I'm sitting next to some freak from the Twilight Zone!
Danny Staples let out an exasperated sigh, shaking his head in the manner of one exhausted with the daily onslaught of life and its many responsibilities. I'm so sorry, sir. We can transfer you to a different seat if you'd like.
No, he's fine. He talks a lot, but he's really harmless.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I have everything under control.
All right, sir. And you? Are you sure you don't want a towel?
No, I'm fine.
The young stewardess simply shook her head, amazed at how consistently her line of work terrified her. The nervous man turned back to whisper something into the ear of Danny Staples.
So you're saying you know absolutely everything? Everything that's going to happen to me? You even knew exactly what that stewardess was going to say. God damn, she's cute, isn't she? Hey, you think I got a chance with her? What do your psychic powers say?
Listen to me. You believe that I can tell the future now. Will you believe me when I tell you that you won't die on this flight?
Okay. I believe you. But now I'm less worried about this fight. I'm more worried that I'm sitting next to some guy who probably knows everything that's going to happen to me in the next 50 years.
Not everything, but I know enough to do what I need to do.
Why are you telling me all this? Why have you revealed your secret to me?
To get you to calm down.
Obviously, you haven't seen far enough into the future to see that I'm freaking out a little.
You are much calmer than you were before. Besides, I had to say everything I did. It was written in our fates.
But since you can see into the future and everything, can't you just ignore what the future is telling you?
Of course I can.
Why not? Just do the opposite of what the future is telling you to do.
I wasn't there.
Why not?
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
Afraid that I change things too much. I'm afraid that I'll lose my ability, so I follow everything that the future tells me. To a T.
You're a goddamn slave, man. You're a slave to time.
I'm a partner. Time is my partner and I respect it.
Well, you say I'm not gonna die on this flight. I suppose I better believe you.
Don't believe me. Believe in your destiny.
About an hour later, the airplane landed at its destination without a hitch. The nervous man breathed an immense sigh of relief and exited the stuffy plane to a bright day seemingly full of endless possibility. The nervous man, no longer so nervous as he was before, rushed into the open air, his arms outstretched, his face bright and positive like a newlywed bride licking honey from the dripping moon.
You see that, doctors? Who says I need to stay at home and waste my life away? I flew on a goddamn plane. I flew on a goddamn airplane and lived.
There, the not-so-nervous man completely forgot his surroundings in his newfound confidence and joy. Neglecting to observe his surroundings, he then ran right into an open highway next to the airport, spinning and laughing and celebrating merrily. Cars passed him by, honking their horns, but he was too lost in his world of light and rapture to pay them any heed whatsoever. That is, until one truck, a black truck with an air freshener in the shape of a skull, came rushing at him directly with full force, knocking his body to the side and ripping in two parts his flesh down the middle. In the aftermath of the collision, it was difficult to tell whether the ensuing pile of limbs and flesh had ever been a man at all, or whether it was merely an aborted attempt at putting together some semblance of a living being. The driver of the black truck chuckled as he soared past the remains of the poor, nervous man. He looked back at the pile of blood and flesh through his rear-view mirror. It was him. It was the man who could see into the future. Danny Staples. He did, After all, whatever the future told him to do. And he had never once ignored its mandate.
I told you. I told you. I told you you won't die on that airplane. The fates have never been wrong, not even once.
Yes,